With the Access 2010 Assets Web Database template, I can quickly create a database for keeping track of assets in my home or business. The Getting Started page contains links to these videos and to get more help or leave feedback. This page is always available as the far right navigation tab, so I can come back whenever I want. To get started, let's take a look at the current Assets tab. Here I can add new assets, view or edit existing assets, and add comments about each one. The fastest way to get started is to just type a few assets into the datasheet and press the down arrow key after each entry. Another way I can enter assets is to click New Asset and then fill in the information that I have. If I enter an owner name that is not in the Users table, Access asks if I want to edit the list of owners. I click Yes, and then Access displays the User Details dialog box. To enter a new user, I click the New button at the bottom of the form. Access displays a blank record where I can type the new user. I don't need to enter any other information for this person, so I'll just click Close. Now I can select the owner and fill in some more information. That's all the information I have about this asset right now, so I'll just click Save and Close. Now I'm back on the current assets list. To view the details of an asset, I can double-click it to open the Asset Details form. This is the same form that I used to enter new records. I want to categorize the refrigerator, but the category I want is not in the list. To fix that, I can click the Edit List Items button underneath the list. This opens a dialog box where I can set the list items. I want to add the category of kitchen equipment. I'll click OK, and now I can select the new category. If I have a picture or document that I want to attach to this record, I can double-click the Attachments field and then add the files I want. I'm finished editing this asset, so I'll click Save and Close. I can search for an asset by entering fragments of text in the search box and then pressing Enter or clicking the Search button. Access searches through all the asset information for the text that I enter. To clear the search, I delete the contents of the search box and then click the Search button. The Assets Web Database will also keep track of retired assets that I no longer use or own. To retire an asset, I double-click it, and in the Asset Details form, I enter a date in the Retired Date box, or I can use the date picker to pick a date. Now I'll close the Asset Details form and click the Retired Assets tab. And there's my retired asset. Now if I click back on the Current Assets tab, the retired asset is no longer there. If I enter a future retired date for an asset, it won't move over to the retired asset list until that date arrives. The Users tab provides a simple way to enter and edit users. Remember that any asset owners that I want to keep track of must be in this list. The Report Center provides a few reports for me to view or print. The Asset List report is a simple listing of all the current assets in the database. The Assets by Category report groups them by category, and the Retired Assets report shows a simple list of the retired assets. To print a report, I click Open in New tab, and then on the File tab I click Print, and then select the print option that I want. When I'm finished printing, I can close the report and return to the Report Center. All Access 2010 web database templates are designed to be compatible with the Publish to Access Services feature. I have a SharePoint server that is running Access services, so I can use this new feature to publish the assets template to the server. Then other people can use the application by using a standard web browser. I can also create the Assets web database directly from the server. On the SharePoint site, I click Create and then click Assets Web Database. I'll type a title and URL and then click Create. Access creates the database on the server, after which I can start using it immediately or open it in Access for further modification. If you're using this template in the United States, you probably don't need to watch the rest of this video. But in other locales, you might have noticed that the currency fields don't display the correct currency symbol for your locale. For example, I've set this computer up as if it were in the United Kingdom, but the currency amounts are still shown in dollars. To fix this problem, I need to make a one-time change to all the currency fields in any tables, forms, or reports. First, I'll show you how to fix a table field. In the navigation pane, I double-click the Assets table to open it. The current value field is the only currency field in this database, so I'll select it, and then on the Fields tab, in the Formatting group, I'll set the Format property to Currency. Now the correct currency symbol for the United Kingdom is displayed. I'll save and close the table, and now I need to fix the forms and reports that display this field. For example, the Asset List report displays the current value field. I'll open that report in Layout View, and then click the Current Value text box. I'll make sure the property sheet is displayed, and then on the Format tab of the property sheet, I'll make sure the Format property is set to Currency. And I'll repeat this for the total text box, and then I'll need to do the same for any other currency text boxes on other forms and reports.